And we are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Blue Crocus Experience podcast. And today, for you, those of you that are still in California, I have some anticipated guests on the show tonight. We've been talking back and forth, looking forward to getting them on the show. They've been busy. You know, as many of you know, they run a busy life with everything that they've going on. But I'm really excited to have Matt and Jojo here with me tonight. So welcome, guys.
Well, how's it going? We appreciate you having us hop on, and we barely made it today. We're working all day.
Yeah,
I know. I'm excited to get into that. I'm excited to get into that because one of the questions was, when's Matt getting off the truck? You know, that's one of the questions we'll dive into, and I'm sure you get that a lot. But now you guys are the brand, right? So
that's a great question. So when do I want to get off the truck? Obviously, it's sooner than later. But my plan is to be on a truck for another year and just stack our money, and then 2024 get off the trucks and kind of relax more. We're in stack mode right now.
Yeah, this is going to be actually a really busy year for us. We have some big goals and some different things happening with the business, and this year is the year of kick butt.
I love it. So are you guys both planning to get off the truck?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. What are your plans after? Do you know, or do you want to share?
Plans after: more fishing, more vacations, going out to eat, sitting back, relaxing, enjoying life. Really.
Yeah. I love it. You guys already fit in a lot of that now, so I'm excited to chat about that because we see lots of food, we see lots of fish, we see lots of travel, and so I'm excited to kind of chat about where you guys find the balance between running the business, putting everything on YouTube, because you guys have 2 channels. I don't know. Do you have more than 2 channels now?
No, we just have the 2. The other one is small, and it's just kind of fun to put things up there that are junk removal related. But like you said, we're so busy that is actually, like, we don't really post like very many videos on that channel because it is hard to balance both the business and the YouTube. It's got its bad points. Bad points is that you're almost always either editing a video or working junk removal. But the good part is actually, it's like a really fun hobby, and it helps our day be really entertaining for us because not only are we, working, doing junk removal, making money, but we're also recording our day, and it's kind of fun, and it kind of breaks things up, and I actually enjoy doing both, but it is challenging. Like Matt has said before, he's like doing junk removal with the one hand, recording as we're doing jobs, or when we come across something, we're like, oh, we should record this because this is challenging, and people need to know that it's not always super easy. But yeah, so having both the business and a YouTube channel, it's challenging, but we also find it really rewarding and fun.
Yeah, no, it's certainly fun to watch. And we've got people, so we're live on my Facebook. I shared it out into the groups as well. We're live on YouTube. So we've got Mountain Life is jumping in here with a comment. So guys, if you have questions for Matt and Jojo, drop them in the comments. It comes up, we can pull them up, and you guys can have a chance to ask them questions too. But yeah, there is a lot to balance. I can see that, right? I kind of want to go back, right? Because I was watching through a few of your videos, at the beginning, right? Because it's always neat to see, hey, this is who we see now. This is who I stumbled upon when we got into the industry, and then going all the way back. So I want to hear a little bit about what is it that got you guys into YouTube? I know you guys have talked some about, hey, it was a way to grow the business, but what got you onto YouTube, and then what caused the transition into where you're really helping people a lot now?
Yeah, because really, I'm the one that started the YouTube channel. Is I just like set it up, and then I thought, well, if we're using all 3 platforms, we should utilize YouTube and make some commercials and stuff. And that's what we started doing. But we, really stumbled upon Tim Doss's videos.
Yeah.
And they were helpful. And I remember we would set and we would, I would set with a pen and paper and we would watch. And just pretty much every video we watched of his, we learned like one new thing. And I remember I would tell Matt, hey, you should like just kind of record your day. And he was not really reluctant on purpose. He just didn't. He didn't do it.
She bugged me for like 6 months straight. You need to do a commercial. You got to advertise the business. You need to do this. She was pushing it. I was like, finally, I was like, okay, I'll do something.
Yeah, so let's just put stuff on YouTube. And so, you know, we started doing that. And then I wasn't really in the videos from the very beginning. If you watch, a lot of them are you and the redneck. And we just didn't, can I tell her?
I used to cut the Jojo out back in the day. She started talking, I'd cut her ass out. For real.
Yeah, no, there was one time I was at a job with the redneck, Steven, and he was doing something to the light. He was taking the light out, and I was recording him, and I was like saying, he's doing this, and this is what he's doing. And I realized after he had edited.
You never made it into the cut.
I was like,
she never made it. I didn't know she was a star of the show back then. I had no idea.
Where's my part? Well, I was saying some cool stuff that, well, we didn't really need that. And I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, it took him a while to realize, hey, it's okay. It was, you know, girls can do this too. And I'm really glad that we did, because I mean, I could be wrong, but I think before we started doing junk removal videos, that junk removal videos was something a man would come across and he would be like, oh, you know, I can make some extra money with my truck. And he would tell his wife, and his wife would be like, no, you're not going to do that. You're keeping your job, and you're not making money with junk. No. But I think a lot of couples have seen that it really is something you can start as a couple, and you can work as a couple in a team and grow your business. And that could be, because that's our baby, you know. Yeah. And now it's like something couples do. Yeah.
It's been cool to see that. Yeah, Matt, you were missing out on all the views by not having Jojo in at the beginning.
No, you're 100% right. Everyone loves the Jojo. They leave comments for the Jojo. I'm just here for the Jojo. Does your wife have a sister? Trust me, I know.
Is your wife single?
Is your wife single? I'm like,
yeah, that's an interesting combination of words there in a sentence. That's funny. So we actually have a lot of people jumping in. So we've got CJ, we got a CJ and a Carlos. CJ and Carlos are both here. They're having a little chat in the comments. CJ asked a question: how did you overcome? You know, what are some of the big things that you guys have overcome in junk removal? So that was one of my questions too. Like, what are the top worst jobs that you've been on? What are like some of the things that if you could go back again, you would do at all costs to avoid something that happened?
One of our biggest struggles was I remember we drove up to this job and we were looking at it, and Matt was like, oh God, let's not do this one. And I was like, oh, come on. If we want to be big, we got to do big things. But it was the one in Cloverdale.
Oh, it was horrible. There was tweakers looking out the window. There was trash. I mean,
sounds like a hazmat suit job.
It was like, what, 3 acres full of trash, and we just had my truck and my utility trailer. I mean, it was a horrible job. I was like, oh my gosh. I had no idea how to price the job or anything.
It was our first really big job, and you know, there was just trash and garbage.
And did you land it too?
Huh?
Did you get the job?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't charge enough money, but we still made a killing on it.
Yeah, and, I think though that it was the way we tackled it was so smart. It was a time we rented one dumpster because there was garbage everywhere. So we rented a dumpster, and we only had to fill it up once. We broke absolutely everything down, every bit of furniture we broke down to make sure it would fit in that dumpster. And he was working his other job at Safeway when we were tackling it. So he was, tackling this job in between his other job, after work. And we, set it up to where at that time you could recycle plastic, which was a godsend at that time because there was so much plastic at that job. So, we loaded up all the plastic in the back of the truck and the utility trailer and took just that. And there was no dump fee in that. It was great. And then we did the same thing with all the metal, just the back of the truck and the utility trailer. And I thought it was really smart, just the way we did it, the way we pulled everything out, and we just made it work. It was a huge job that we tackled with just a truck and trailer.
And the first day we showed up to work, we got free labor. There was a guy, some tweaker dude there with a shoestring around his neck with a seashell, throwing some firewood into some was it like a can or something? He had a fire. And I pulled up like, hey, he's like, oh, hi, I'm here to help. So he started loading up the trailer. So I got free labor for like the first day.
Yeah.
How many days did it take you?
The Jojo found her first meth pipe there too.
I never.
Oh, that's a moment in history.
Yeah, they were everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah. That's funny. Carlos says, sounds like the homeless encampment I underbid on our first month in business. 13 loads with our 8-foot utility trailer.
Yeah, we could have charged a lot more. We probably underbidded that one at least $4,000 to $5,000. But then the lady wanted us to come back and rip the ceiling out, so we kind of made up for that. We made some good money on that one.
Yeah, it was a great.
Wild.
It was a great job.
Yeah, Eddie's here. He said he's been waiting all day for this. Metatron Tech on YouTube. Eddie and Metatron are both on YouTube. Jamie says glad to see us finally connecting. I'm excited too. And John with Thibodeau is jumping in too. I love it. And we got the question again. We kind of touched on it quickly at the beginning, but maybe I'll let you guys go into it a little bit deeper. I got the question from Gilbert on Facebook, and Mountain Life asked, what's your plan for getting off the truck? So maybe just touch on it quickly again for those who are just jumping in.
So the plan on getting off the trucks is I'm going to work next year full-time on the trucks, and then 2024, I'm going to get off the trucks. So right now I'm in stack mode. I'm going to try to tackle as many jobs as possible. I got me, the Jojo, the Julio. She'll be off the trucks a little bit more, but me and the Julio will be tackling a lot more jobs. But it's just stack time. We're going to stack our money, and then by next year, we're planning on having another dump truck and getting off the truck. So that's the plan.
Yeah, and we'll have this coming year, we have Julio full-time. So it's our first full-time employee. So
that's huge. What have been the challenges around finding people for you guys, or have you guys managed most stuff just by yourself?
We have really managed most stuff ourselves, and then if it's something really, really big, then we would schedule it for when Julio was able to help us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds pretty easy.
Before work for 6 months, maybe a year, and then pretty much not like a solid person that's going to be there every single day that we can count on, pretty much.
Yeah, because really with junk removal, if it's a lot of curbside pickups, a lot of it you can do yourself. You could definitely do most things with 2 people, and we have a lift gate, so that helps.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, so it's just we have big changes happening in our business, and I would say having our first full-time employee is one of them, and then we're also gonna be an S corp, so we're doing stuff with that. So.
Moving up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I know in one of your videos, I went through a few of the really early ones, from 3 years ago, and I was kind of going through some of the stuff, and taxes was a big one that you guys talked about. Get a CPA. That's how you got, the trailer that you got at the time was, spending money instead of paying in taxes. So that's cool to see that. Jacob asked on Facebook, it kind of goes along with this, your steps going into next year. He says, right now they're the brand. What do they have planned so that they can scale that? Maybe it's not as important when they're out picking up the junk and the brand is more of a social thing. So I think he's thinking, where's the brand going to go? I'm wondering, where's YouTube going to go if you guys are off the truck? Is it going to be all fishing and food, or where's that going to go?
Oh, we haven't really thought about it much. I know that we would probably still talk about how we're able to travel because we started our own business, and
the structure that you've put in place for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely stay motivating other people to work for themselves and just strive for what they want in life, and not think that they can't accomplish things, and getting out of your comfort zone, and just all that like motivation talk that we do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All you hustlers and grinders, right? That's how you start every video.
Oh yeah.
I love it. So walk us back to the very beginning. You know, I'm kind of segueing from what you just said there, Jojo, of, you know, you're here to motivate. You guys have stepped out of your comfort zone. It's been cool to watch, you know, where you guys are now. Like I said, watching back some of the videos, you were, you know, like, what the heck do I do? How do I get a website up? How do I do this? Right? What got you guys into junk removal? Tell us that story quickly for those who haven't heard it.
So pretty much for any of the viewers out there that are maybe just starting their own business right now, me personally, 7 years ago, I was fresh out of jail, got out of jail, couldn't get no good job, started working a shitty job, and I was there just hating life. I mean, I go to work, clock out, come home, go back, do the same thing, and I was in the rat race and wasn't stacking no money. So I told the Jojo, I got to do something. We got to start a business. So I said, what about a junk removal business? So it was either going to be moving or junk removal. So
Good choice
we
on
picked
that
out
one.
junk removal, and I started watching actually YouTube videos of Tim Doss, great dude. Started watching his videos and started taking notes, and then started the business as a side hustle until it became a full-time hustle.
yeah. And you also worked on the Salvation Army trucks.
Oh yeah, how I got the idea for the trash business was I was at a program for the Salvation Army. I was there for like 8 months, and we were picking up donations at houses. And some of the donations had like cat hair, or they were ripped, or they were damaged, and we couldn't take them at the Salvation Army to donate. So they said, who do we call? So that's when I got the idea, was to start a junk removal business. I seen there was a need for it.
Yeah, because who takes the stuff when the Goodwill
When
or
you can't even
Salvation
donate
Army
it.
won't take it? Yeah.
Yeah. And Jojo, what was your story like? Did you just come along for the ride, or where do you guys kind of come together in the business?
Oh, like how did we get together, or how?
No. I mean, you can tell that story if you want, but specifically, I meant like Matt has this idea, and then did you just both jump in with both feet, or how did that work?
Yeah, we pretty much did. I was like, okay, well, you know, we both of us had no idea how to start a business, you know, and it's interesting because if you don't know any better, you think you need a business degree to go into business. You know, you're like, you just started a business? Like, what are you talking about? So he did say, you know, because I was down to help whatever he had decided, you know, and when he said junk removal, I was like, okay. So I'm one of those that will like research and try to learn as much as possible about anything. Anything I'm getting ready to do, do we need to plug that in?
No, should be fine.
Okay.
We'll stop for a commercial break if we need.
Okay. So, so you know, we started looking and finding other people to watch and how are they doing it. And so, you know, we learned as we went. Oh, this is how you get a business license. And then and then you need a permit. Oh, this is what we need to do for that. And oh, we want to use Sonoma Strong. That was super important. So how do we make sure we can use that? So we just kept, you know, researching and taking all the little steps that you needed to do to you know, start a business.
Right?
And I asked him, I was like, so what's your plan with this? Like, what do you like? What do you want to do? And he really just wanted to be able to get ahead in life and make an extra. He's like, I would be happy with an extra $2,000 a month. Like you having no idea how much
the possibility
removal and stuff. But he just thought, you know, an extra $2,000 a month because we're just living like paycheck to paycheck, you know.
And I remember too, she worked at her job and she was printing out flyers on these yellow cardboard stock papers, and she would cut them out. And those were our flyers that were passing out to real estate offices. That was like how we were advertising. We had no money when we first started this business.
Yeah, it's what you do at your downtime at work when no one's looking.
Exactly. when you're planning to leave anyway, right? Yeah, I love it. How's it been being business partners and partners in life? how, like, because I think that's I know Jamie and his wife do it some together, John and his wife on the feed here, Carlos, CJ, I think most everyone on watching here does it with their wives, and I'm sure there's been some tense moments, or maybe there hasn't. Walk us through that.
Yeah, we communicate and get along really, really well. So there isn't really nitpicking and arguing like behind the camera. There just isn't. That's just not how we just aren't like that. But I would say advice is because it is not for every couple. Some couples could not work together. I feel that the rule is that there really is only like one chief, and so I'm very, very comfortable just sitting back and taking the lead, and I don't need to be the boss, and I don't, in my ways, not the best way all the time. So I think communication is key, because we'll show up to a job and let's say there's a couch and it's a heavy couch and it's going to be hard to maneuver. So just communicating, like, I'll just say, what's your plan? Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? And I don't get into power struggles with, well, I think you should. Well, you should do it this way. You should do it that way. But he'll often ask me how I would do things, and then I will give that input. But I just think it's how you communicate with one another. Also, I don't argue about little things. Before I get upset about something, I'll think to myself, is this really going to matter in 5 years? Like, is this going to be something that's going to really matter in our relationship in 5 years? And if I think it would, then I'll say something, and we'll talk about it. But usually I just,
And a lot of times I load up the truck or I do something and then I hop in the car. She says, we should have done it this way. And I'm sitting there like, you know what? That would have been a lot easier.
Maybe next time
we'll do it.
Maybe next time. Who's winning on the dump guesses, on the dump fee guesses?
She be getting them.
Yeah. I struggle when it's multiple jobs. If it's like multiple jobs in the truck and then we go to the dump, because I'll kind of forget what's in there. But I'm good at it because I know that if I've been able to pick up most of the things and toss it in there, then it's then our truck.
It's under a certain threshold, right?
It's under a certain thing. And if
I'm not just like, it's just going in the truck.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. For those who don't know what I was referencing on their channel, they're always doing a guess at the dump, who's closest on the dump fee. I think John with Thibodeau has a question. How long did you fly under the radar before going legit? And then he tees off with the wife thing. I couldn't do without my wife, which, you guys demonstrate that well. But yeah, he says, how long with the business? Like, did you go right out the door, registering the business, getting all that squared away?
We went legit from the very beginning.
Yeah, we did.
Had insurance, got the business license, went legit, the first month?
Yeah. Yeah. We also had, we started our Yelp and our website and everything. We started that before we even did our first job.
I love it. I love it. Jamie says that he and Ashley have started doing the dump fee game as well after watching you guys. Jamie, who's winning? You or Ashley? Drop that in the comments for us. I love it. So one thing that anybody who's watching your channel or watching your feed or watching how you organize your, and monitor your Facebook group can see is you guys are very positive people. Was it always that way? I know, Matt, you referenced, you're getting out of jail. I imagine there's a life before that. I don't know if you want to get into that a little, but where did the positivity come from? Or did you just wake up, when out of your mother's womb with that positivity?
Oh, I wish it was like that. So much bullshit in life. I've been to hell and back, so I ain't got time for no bullshit, no drama. If you're a negative person, I pretty much just block you out of my life. I'm not perfect. She is not perfect. But when it comes to trying to stay positive, that's what we try to do every single day, is just try to be motivating to other people, to ourselves, and just be positive. And there's no time. I mean, you only live so long.
It's true. It's true. Was there a particular point where you kind of made that switch?
Yeah, it was like probably, I'd say 7 years ago. I would say about 7 years ago.
Yeah. And I've always been I've always been a really positive person, and my daughter used to really get mad at that all the time because I just don't I just don't get upset or get angry easy. And if she would come to me with like something, I would always think of the bright side or positive, and then she'd be like, "Stop being a positive."
She just wants you to be mad.
This is not positive. But
That's funny.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
life is so good right now. I mean, I have no complaints at all. I never thought I'd be living the life that I'm living right now, owning the house, being sober for 8 years, and actually motivating other people to start their own business. I had no idea that this was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool to see. What would you say has been your secret weapon in business? Because I have an idea I love it. I was not expecting that answer. I love that. I love that. Jojo, how about you?
My secret weapon in life?
In business. Yeah, life or business, both, because they're very intertwined, obviously.
Well, I really feel like I need to do
You can do what you want to do, Jojo. It's all good.
that was so sweet.
I love it.
Ask the question one more time. I'm sorry.
What's your secret weapon? I see your consistency on YouTube. You know, even though I know it's a grind with everything, so I see that as a weapon, even if you guys don't. But what do you guys think? You know, is your secret weapon in business and life? You know, positivity is a big one we just talked about, but you know, business and life are not always easy.
They're not always easy, but you know, you can always think of something positive, no matter how bad things are. There's always something, because I'm a firm believer that, you know, what you put out there will come back. And so if you're walking around really depressed and moping and thinking nothing's going your way and I'm never going to catch a break, you're not, because all of that negativity that you keep putting out is just going to keep coming back to you, because positive things can happen and you wouldn't even notice it. You wouldn't even see it because you're in that negative mode. So really just being positive and open-minded and being able to kind of try things a different way. If you're trying the same thing over and over again and you're just not getting the result you want, try it a different way. Be consistent. Consistency is the key.
I think that's one of the most important things in our business, or any business, is staying consistent at whatever you do. When you wake up, check your emails, always answer your phone, call people back, advertise, feed your Google My Business, whatever you do, stay consistent at it. And that really helped us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's a pop question. You guys travel a lot. You like to travel and eat out. Matt, what's your favorite place you've eaten and or favorite food that you like to get at like every place?
Favorite place I've eaten? Let me see. There was a place out there in Austin, Texas called, was it Franklin's Barbecue?
Yeah, we didn't go to Franklin's though. We
Which
went
one
to
was it?
Terry Black's.
Terry Black's. We had, the brisket there was off the hook. It was heavy.
It was really, really good food. Austin, Texas had really good food. And we're from Sonoma County, and that's wine country.
Yeah.
And the food here is really, really good. So when you travel, you know, I don't want to say you're like this a little bit, but when you travel, it takes a lot to impress you food-wise, because our food in Sonoma County is so good. I would say Terry Black's, so that barbecue was amazing.
Yeah,
That
since
was a
I've been with the Jojo, my taste buds have went up like this. I used to eat top ramen shrimp flavor, and I was happy with that back in the day, Jojo. And now since I've been with her, we eat pesto, prosciutto. I never had that stuff back in the day.
I love it.
Hot dog.
I grew up here in Sonoma County though, and there's it's just there's really good restaurants.
The bar is set high. You
Yeah.
can't be eating crap with the wine. Yeah, I love it. Where's your favorite place you visited? Food aside.
Well, we haven't really been to a ton of places. North Carolina was really pretty. Really, really pretty. There's so many trees. I don't think there was a house that didn't have a tree. Crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and Austin, Texas was, I really liked that there's this place called Barton Creek, and if you're an outdoorsy person, there's just something to do outside in Austin. It was really populated though, so I would never move there.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Now, John with Thibodeau is going to reel us back in here. And he asks, kind of off track, how do your customers react to recording video while doing the job? And I'm going to tee off that after you answer too. I'd like to dive into, your favorite offline marketing techniques. So I'll let you answer that, and then we'll go into that.
Really, the customers never really stress it. I never put them on camera. I let them know, hey, we're gonna record real fast. There's never an issue. I'll walk up there, record the trash real quick. If they're there, I won't talk with them really there when I'm recording, because they might be talking too. I don't want them to interrupt, so maybe I'll talk behind that scene. And really, we don't ever have no issues with it.
Yeah, we don't.
Cool. We've got CJ or Carlos says, there's a reason we do so much charity and community service. Helping others keeps me going. Yeah, we chatted about that on the podcast. It's kind of his pick me up, which is cool. Stripe It Like It Hot is in the house. Cam's in the house saying let's go. Eddie has a question to Jody. How do you still manage your online presence, or have you guys had the chance to work with a company for social media management, ads, and SEO? Or do you still manage, or do you work with someone now?
Do we manage your online presence?
Like, do you manage your website, Facebook, all of that, or do you have someone managing it?
No, we do all of that.
I love it. So let's get into that, guys. Talk to us about that process. Like, I always like the offline stuff. Obviously, my world is websites, SEO, all that stuff. But I am so interested and passionate about all the offline stuff. You were talking about printing out the flyers at the job. Like, there's so many ways you can get jobs offline and still be a hunter. Obviously, it's great to be an order taker from the website. Have people calling. But let's talk about like top 2 or 3 ways that you guys have found really effective.
I would say the number one way we got business was stopping at real estate offices, stopping at the dollar store, buying some candy dishes, walking in there, introducing ourselves, and leaving the candy dish there with our business cards around it, or dropping off flyers inside their boxes. And that's the number one way that we built our business and got a lot of realtors on the team, was stopping there in the offices.
That's huge. Do you find a follow-up question to that? Do you find I see a lot in the groups. I love realtors, and we've made some really good connections with realtors in our business. But something I see a lot in the groups is, realtors are cheap. They want the cheapest junk removal. What would be your comeback to that?
I got my biggest job off a realtor, a $40,000 job. So I wouldn't say they're cheap. Some realtors are cheap. A lot of realtors aren't, depending on who you work for, pretty much. I mean, the cheap ones I won't do work for again.
Yeah, they kind of just fade off. They're not going to refer people over to you anymore. They kind of sort themselves out.
Yeah.
Jojo, what's your favorite? Like, if you were to pick one thing starting back over again, what would you pick, aside from what Matt just said, obviously?
Like, what do you mean? What's the question?
Like a marketing technique. Let's say you did have a website, you had all that set up, but you wanted to go out and hunt for some jobs and make some connections. What would you do?
That has nothing to do with social media or online. Yeah,
exactly.
Just putting up the business cards everywhere, putting door hangers in the nearby, neighborhood of a job that you just did. And I also think just doing stuff in the community, like parades and stuff, is a really nice, cool way to get your name out there. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and you guys talk a lot about this, and we've done this. I know people in the groups do this, but you're at a job, you're driving back, or you're just driving through town. You'll drop off a card at a place that you see, their dumpsters are overflowing or something like that. Is that something you guys still do? Like, I'd love to talk now about, where are you getting most of your leads now? But kind of I love the dropping off business cards.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, yesterday we did a job. It was 30 mattresses, and how I got this job, it was actually behind a business that sells mattresses, and I was doing a job next door, and I walked in there, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I walked into the office, talked to the manager, let him know what I did, gave him a business card, and just by walking in there, by seeing that trash outside the building, I locked the job in, and they cost at least 6 times out the year for the last 2 years. So it's a great job.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's cool. That's awesome. Cam says there's an epic light show happening in the chat. Yeah, we both got our lights on the fade there. John says he found a guy that's okay with websites. I appreciate you, John. Metatron Tech says, who edits your videos?
He does.
Matt.
So
Matt.
In the dump line, in the bathroom, on the couch, I'll edit them while we're doing them.
Yeah. We use
For those that
we use InShot to edit the videos. And I'll try to keep some new music coming in. So I kind of pick the music that we're going to be using in the videos. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the visual.
Dude, we don't use no fancy camera or nothing. It's all off the phone.
That's killer. Yeah. I mean, everybody's carrying around a $1,000 camera in their pocket, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. John says, you guys picked up at our place in Windsor 2 years ago when we moved to Texas. Fast and easy to work out of my son. Oh, that's cool. John's another agency owner that I know. That's amazing.
That's great.
Very cool.
By there, remember they're going to start a junk removal company.
Yeah.
And I asked
I love it.
The of the dump fee. He said $595.
Oh, that was them. I remember you now.
I was like, you're way off. You're not going to win that dump prediction.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
very cool.
Good.
Yeah, it's crazy how many jobs we do for subscribers out there. I was actually just went to Arizona. I was in LA, and we were driving through LA, and I thought I cut some guy off. I was in my FJ Cruiser that's all wrapped, and my dad's like, you cut that guy off. The guy had his camera out the window. He's all, Matt and Jojo. He's all recording me and my dad driving, going hunting. It's crazy how much business we get off having a YouTube channel is ridiculous.
That's amazing. Jacob says, what do you record with? I think you just answered that. Just iPhones, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, just an iPhone.
Yeah. Everybody's going to ask what model.
It is the 13, but I started with the 8? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Cam is asking, what's the biggest mistake you see other companies in your space making that prevents their company growth?
I would say not charging enough money and being too cheap would be the number one thing. I've done some jobs where we show up, maybe we tackle a load there, and the customer liked it so much we started doing the job right then. And then another person that was there earlier bid the job, called the client up and told him a price because he's worried about us getting the job, and just undercut himself so much and doing the work too cheap. So I would say doing work too cheap is probably the number one thing.
Yeah.
Because there's guys out here that are rolling around with a bigger dump truck than us, and they're charging $400 a load.
Yeah.
But that's
I love it.
prices. So maybe other states that might be okay, but not out here in Cali.
Yeah. You gotta pay your bills.
Yeah.
John says, what is something you'd suggest for someone starting a YouTube channel? So John's been working on his and putting out some hilarious content. He's out of Maine. You guys should check him out. He's quite funny, I find. But he's asking, he's just getting going, wondering what you guys would suggest for someone starting the YouTube channel.
Yeah, because we actually just did a workshop on starting your own YouTube channel. And our biggest advice was to just start recording. Don't go and buy all the fancy equipment and all this and that. Really, the biggest thing to do and the biggest challenge is really to just find yourself when you start to record. Because when you first start recording, you're nervous and you don't know like what to say, and you feel dumb. You're holding the camera and you're talking to it. So, just do it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. And also the better you'll get too, because most people, when they first start recording, they'll say the word guys all the time, like over and over again. And you don't, like, you could totally take that word out and it makes perfect sense what you just said. You know,
Yeah.
so you
Guys and you feel it's the yeah.
yeah. But
No one likes to have empty space.
yeah, you'll get better the more you do it, and also you'll eventually find what your like niche is and what your you might start doing videos on something and then you realize, oh, people really want to know about that. So, and also whatever you end up doing your YouTube channel on, make it something that you really enjoy and you really like. That way it won't feel like work. It'll be fun, and it will just be something you really enjoy doing. Also, when you know, really think about your titles and your thumbnail, because your thumbnail really is competing against absolutely everything else. So, you know, do a thumbnail and then put it up against others and see, would you click on that? Arrows work really good. Anything that makes a person curious and wonder, like, and kind of want to know the answer to that and click on it. And watch your analytics. And if a video is doing really well, try to figure out why. What was it about? And also, when you first start a video, right away, like look right into the camera, right away, tell them what the video is going to be about, and ask them to hit the like button, because so many people will watch a video even if they like it and they don't think to hit that like button. So,
and people like how-to videos, step-by-step videos, tips. So those are good words to put in your title to get more views. And back in the day when I used to do thumbnails, my thumbnails were horrible. They were just a black background with some yellow writing. And I was wondering, Jojo, why didn't we get no views? She's like, your thumbnails are horrible, man.
I love it. I love it. Jacob's asking, guys, by the way, this is I'm really enjoying this. This is some good interaction from the viewers. So I appreciate you guys asking questions here. It's kind of turning into an Ask Me Anything here, which I love. So Jacob is asking, how do you get tips? Do you turn the phone to them when the tip option comes up? It always seems so awkward to me.
It does seem awkward.
So I'll let the customer know, hey, this is optional. You don't need to do it if you don't want to do it. I'll hand them my phone, and sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. I don't put no pressure on it.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Do it if you want to do it.
Yeah, we never ask for one, but you'll be surprised. You'll get lots of tips just because that option is there.
Yeah, I love it. John says great advice. He appreciated you guys running through the YouTube. Sadala is asking about shorts. Do you guys use that? I know you do use shorts, but why are you using shorts?
So shorts are great. Shorts gets you a whole new audience, brand new people that have never seen your channel and would have never found your channel. So shorts are great for pulling in new people. What we've found to be the struggle at first is very difficult to have come up with short ideas that will lead people, because what it is you want to do a short that when people do check out your channel, they still like it. So it does have to do with,
it can't just all be clickbait.
Yeah. So you know, we did some in this room, and a couple of them did really well where I had money. And I was like, you can work for yourself and make money like this, you know. And then I was like, if you want to know more, you know, check out our channel. So if you're doing a short, you do want it to kind of tie in, you know, to what it is that you're doing somehow. So when they do come to your channel, it's still interesting to them.
They're getting what they expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. David's asking, do you guys do all the editing of your videos? I think we kind of covered that. You know, Matt's still doing it on the toilet and in the truck. So
you sit there for 15 minutes and just edit that video, and I'll tell the Jojo, bring me some more TP. I'm almost done over here. I do little by little. We try to post at least 2 videos a week and then a couple shorts.
I love it. Now, are you doing all that editing on your phone?
All on my phone.
Okay, that takes it to a new level. So I guess I assumed that was on your computer. So there's no excuses, guys. Like Matt is literally doing it on his phone. Do you have plans to outsource it?
No.
No, it's fun doing it. To tell you the truth, I love doing it.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it. Carlos says they always send invoices with it to the customer. 257 in tips yesterday. So
Wow.
Oh, nice, killing it.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome, guys. Well, I'm gonna let probably one more question come through. We want to be respectful of Matt and Jojo's time here because they've got their evening to get to as well. But guys, I'm gonna give you guys each one question, 2 questions to each of you. So the first one is going to be, what's your favorite book that you've read? And then what is one thing that you want to leave with the audience? So I'll start with Jojo on the book question.
Oh, like in my entire life?
I don't know. It could be, yeah.
Wow. That's hard because I grew up reading like all the time.
I love it. Let's hear it. I love reading books. As you can see.
Okay, so the very, very first like book I read like all the way and super loved. I didn't find the joy of I didn't fall in love with reading until I was in 7th grade, and then I was hooked. So I read like V.C. Andrews, everything, every flower in the attic, petals in the wind, let there be thorns. If she wrote it, I read it.
That's amazing.
And then. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think of like a really, really good one lately, but
that's good. We'll jump to Matt, and then we can come back if something pops in.
I would say Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'll just play it on YouTube and listen to it while I'm driving. That's the best. I say Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it's probably my favorite of them all.
Yeah, because lately the last book I read was a Dave Ramsey book because he's really smart with money, and I want to get smarter with money.
I love it. Yeah, if you're bringing it in, you want to put it to something that you can save it with. And then the question of, what do you want to leave people with? Whether anything that we didn't cover that you want to drop for listeners.
The main thing is if you're out there and you want to start a business and maybe you're struggling with your business, just believe in your business and just go for it and don't quit no matter what. Because someone out there is watching you and believing in you, so you gotta believe in yourself.
That's huge. That's huge.
And yeah, I'm kind of with that. So, something like, in my past, I would have never thought that life would be like it is right now. So if you're at a time in your life where you're just not happy, whether it's your job or your marriage or you're just not happy, like this is it. This is the only life you get. It's not a dress rehearsal. Life is really short. And, Matt 7 years ago made changes, and I made completely different changes. I wasn't on the path that he was. I've never like had addictions and stuff, but I was in like a really unhappy marriage for a really long time, and even had depression. And I didn't even know that I was depressed. I was just so used to being unhappy that I didn't even know that wasn't normal, So and I was still a positive person. I was still trying to like make my life work, So, but when I really made the decision to just, hey, this is my life and I need to take it back and I need to get it on track and be the person that I was meant to be. So if you are struggling with anything like that, just get up and make the change, because it doesn't come to you. You have to make that change yourself. And then you'll end up living like more amazing life than you ever dreamed possible.
And if I can go from being a homeless to being a homeowner, anyone can do it.
Yeah. I love it, guys. And I think, that's a message you guys preach everywhere. I mean, your whole channel is that journey, right? From the beginning to where you guys are now. And I think, it's when I when I was looking at starting business, I got into, I did engineering, and, I was like, that's a good, strong career, graduated with that degree. And I got let go like 3 months after I graduated. I'd worked full time for them. And that was like what I always wanted to start a business, but it proved to Alyssa like, hey, even a career isn't a long-term thing necessarily, that you think it is, right? So if you guys are unhappy where you are, anyone who's listening, step out and do the thing you want to do. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to learn, and you're going to do something else. But there's a lot there that can be had if you go after it. So I guys, I really appreciate that. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone who jumped in on the feed here. Some really good questions, some really good interaction here. So if you guys are looking to start a junk removal business, already have one, looking for some more positivity in your life, go check out Sonoma Strong Hauling on YouTube, on their website. See what they're up to. See what fishing and food shenanigans they're getting up to. But guys, Matt and Jojo, really appreciate having you on here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Awesome. So we'll leave everyone with that, and get you to stick around, and we'll chat quickly before you guys head off on your evening.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.